It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
and Badass Slingshots.
So what do you do when you've completely redefined the way bows are engineered? When you've reached the pinnacle and the band starts playing your victory song, you start a revolution out of thin air. Introducing the all-new PSE Carbon Air, engineered with true carbon technology to be the lightest high-performance bow in the world. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states, it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters, and the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
Welcome back to another Up North Journal minicast.
Something you're not going to hear on our main show, but you're going to hear it now in 3 to 5 minutes.
You think we can do this in 3 to 5?
Well, sometimes that's a little tough.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see where it goes, though, but we like to try to be 3 to 5.
All right. Well, you know, we answered a question this week on the show talking about getting out of our stand, getting to a stand. We talked about that. It got me to thinking about things we do while we're in the stand, and I wanted to ask you. We're specifically talking about bow hunting here.
Okay.
When you're in the stand, whether it be in a box blind, a ground blind, ladder stand, hang-on stand, what have you, climber, when you're sitting there, is your bow on a hook or is it in your hand, and why?
Okay. I'll take my majority of my experience from sitting in the ground blind. Mm-hmm. I usually have it. I'm usually sitting in a chair, and I got it on my lap.
Okay.
I've tried. I've done it a couple ways. It always seems to start in the morning off in my lap, mm-hmm. And or else I can lay it across the arms of the chair.
Okay,
and I can just sit back and
fold my hands
and watch the woods.
Okay,
watch the squirrels. Sometimes I lean it in the corner. I always wanted to get a ground bow holder.
Okay, like you use out in a shooting range.
Yeah.
Okay,
but I've never. There's one out there to get, and I never have gotten it. But so for pretty much to answer that question, I have it across my lap. Sometimes I have my hand on the bow. Sometimes I don't. My trigger isn't on the string. It's usually just in my hand or wherever, you know.
So if you're in the ground blind, it's sitting in your lap.
Yep.
Okay.
And then if I catch movement or something, then I'll get into position and try to figure out where I'm going to ambush the little guy.
What if you're in a tree stand?
In a tree stand, 9 times out of, sometimes I'll put it on the hook, but usually it's across my lap, or I got it down between my legs, sitting up. So that's where I rest it between my legs, sitting straight up. So all I got to do is just pick it straight up and then put my hand right on the handle.
Okay.
What about you?
So you want to know how I handle it?
I want to know how you handle it. Tell me, Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan Bow Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Bow Kenobi. How do you handle it?
You like that? The way
yeah,
kind of rolled that through there?
Okay. You rolled it nicely.
I'm 99 times out of 100, I'm sitting in a tree stand. I do have ground blinds in my arsenal now. And even when I'm in the ground blind or in the tree stand, I don't have a hook. I don't put them on a hook. I don't ever want the bow out of my hand. I used to do that, and it seemed like every time I would get ready, I would see a deer and I'd start to reach for it, I'd get busted. You know, it was always that reach. At what point do I reach? So it's like, well, okay, from now on, it stays in my lap. Now, there's times if I'm sitting, I may, I have my left hand on the riser, and it's laying across my lap. And occasionally I'll let go of it, and it'll be on my lap, and I'll be doing whatever.
Eating a snack,
reading a book, looking through my field glasses, whatever I'm doing. But most of the time, my left hand's on the riser. And there's times when, okay, I want to move a little bit, and I'll take the bow, and I'll actually set it on the foot platform on my boot, on top of my boot. So, so my cam's not on the metal.
On the metal, yep.
I don't ever want that string touching metal and wearing.
Yep, you got that right.
My luck, there'd be a little burr or something there that would actually cut the string. And so, I mean, I guess I'm being anal about it, but...
No, because I guarantee you that might happen, and then or, God forbid, it does happen, but you don't notice it until you're practicing shooting at an animal, and then your bow explodes.
Well, I saw this week on Facebook, I don't even remember who it was, but their father was out hunting with them in a tree stand and drew back on one of the biggest deer I'd ever seen, and the string come off the cam. I always worry about just little things that could cause a problem, or so I really pay attention to that type of thing. So that's one reason I like to have it laying on my lap.
Yep,
across it. But if I ever have it vertical and I'm holding it, it's always sitting on my boot, usually a rubber boot. That way there's something soft on that cam or that string. And if I'm sitting like that, a lot of the times my release is already clicked right to the D-loop.
Oh, okay.
So all I got to do is simply just pick up, stand up, whatever, and draw and shoot.
All right.
So I try to keep that movement or that action as small and minute as possible. So no, I don't use a hook in the tree stand to hang my bow on anymore. I've just gotten completely away from it.
There you go.
So that's
a cool thing.
And like I said, and I'm 50-50 whether my D loop is, if I get my release click to the D loop. A lot of times if I even hear something, I immediately click on.
That's usually when if I got it in my lap and I don't have to move. That's usually if I start to hear something.
Yeah.
That's when it gets on and then I get ready and I figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, if I hear something that's behind me or to the side and I can't see, I'm on it. But definitely when I see movement, I'm the release is on the string. Unless it's something I like, okay, here comes button buck. I don't even.
Oh yeah. Well,
at that point,
in my case, I won't be able to shoot any does up in the upper.
Right.
I'll look if I don't see anything.
No antlers. It's not going on.
It's just all right.
Here we go. Yeah.
Just watch the show.
Right.
Now, hopefully, there's something behind it, but
right on.
So.
Yep. So that's I don't know. Just kind of got me to think about those things. So what we do in the stand and why we do it.
There you go. So, I like that.
All right. That'll do it for this minicast. This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
and Badass Slingshots.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.